We about war, we about war. Don't make my hitters come to your front door. We about war, we about war. Don't make my hitters come to your front door.
Live a life in the war zone, you see it then. War report. Alright, so we're here with the heavy hitter himself, General Mahayaman, one of the most heavy hitters. If you think about heavy hitters, he is the Evander Holyfield of the truth. He is him in the flesh, General Mahayaman.
I'm the Commander General Yohana, of course.
Most High Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, if I could out of one, what's some things that you saw in the truth that separates your life from in the world?
What are some things I saw?
Or some things that you witnessed in the truth? Like why would you choose this life over the life in the world? What's the difference?
I understand. Okay, the difference between being in the truth and being in the world are so varied and so many, it would make your head spin to even understand it.
Right.
When I was in the world, right? Let me give you just a brief example. I, of course, like many other Black and Hispanic men, I was part of a crew that I thought I loved, that I thought loved me, that I thought we would die for each other with, and we would go to jail for each other with. And because of that, we would commit crimes and never snitch on each other and never betray each other. And it was very early into my life in the world when I realized that that was a lie.
Right.
That was just not true. It was something that I wanted, but it was not something that men in the world could provide for me.
Right.
And it was not something that I as a man in the world could provide for them.
Right.
When you're in the world, most brothers in the world are looking for a sense of camaraderie and loyalty and brotherhood to have with other men that they know they're supposed to have. You're looking to be a soldier. Right? In someone's army. And I knew from 13 that I was going to be someone's soldier.
Right.
I didn't know what it would be, but I knew I was not someone that was meant to have a life of peace.
Right.
The problem is the people that I thought that I could serve and become their soldier, I couldn't be because they were not an army.
Right.
They were not together. They were not men that cared about loyalty and honor and dignity and a code.
Right.
But I believed I could get that from them, but of course I found out I could not. Right. Then I came into the Israelite School of UPK, and I made an oath to give the Israelite School of UPK under General Yohana my honor, my loyalty, and I pledged my life to them, and they in turn pledged their life to me. And they in turn gave me the loyalty that I pledged to give them. And it was what I was always looking for.
That's heavy.
It was what I always wanted.
Okay, we spoke with Captain Ty Ward, super duper captain out of Philadelphia.
Right. Damn right.
He spoke about a situation where he said you gave him a flyer to come into the UPK. And he said he was going through his perils in the world. And he seen a flyer on the bus or the train. And he came to a school that was not the UPK. And he said he called you. And you was like, you laughed. And you said, that was not us. So like, are you familiar with this story?
I think I am. I'm familiar with this story. Yeah, Ty Ward, as you know, is my physical brother. And let me tell you, and it's heavy because Captain Ty Ward, when I came into the truth, was the main pull on me coming into the world. Meaning, when I came into the truth, the number one reason that I wanted to not come into the truth was to be a big brother to my little brother.
That's heavy.
It was the thing that ached me every day when I was a trooper and an officer of 50.
Right.
My mother would call me and she would say, your little brother needs you. He needs you to be around. And brother, it was such I can't even describe that it was the thing that made me want to go back in the world. So I could be his big brother, right? And it bothered me, but I knew that I had to fear the Most High, and I knew I took an oath,
right?
And I had to keep my oath, so I abandoned him, and abandoned being his big brother, and abandoned watching him growing up, and it ached me every day. I don't think you get me, Nach. I mean, every day.
Right.
Every day until he came into the truth, I would feel in my chest to go find my little brother and to help him. And every day I would say, I got to get to D.C. I got to get to New York. I got to get to this other city. I got to get to Baltimore. I cannot go back and find my little brother. And it ached me. But I would pray to the Most High that my little brother would find me.
Right.
And I prayed to the Lord.
Right.
Now, how often did I pray? I hope you don't pray. I hope you don't think I'm exaggerating. Every day. Every day.
Right.
And so finally, one day, he called me on the phone and he said, I gave him this flyer. It was 10 years. You understand me? 10 years I gave him this flyer. I gave it to him and I left. Because he was in the world, my family was in the world, and they hated me being around him. They hated my influence on him. You get my point?
Yeah,
I come around him and they hated the fact that I would influence him.
Right.
And they fought me to come and didn't want me to be around him.
Right.
So I said, listen, man, I can't go through this, because I knew that I was tempted to choose him over the truth.
Right.
I could feel the temptation to choose my little brother over the truth. So because I felt it, I left him and went out on the road and traveled all over the goddamn world with Commander General Yohana, fishing and teaching and pushing the doctrine of the Israelite School of UPK.
Right.
So now, 10 years later, I get a call from him saying, listen, I finally looked at this flyer. I left him 10 years ago. But this group I went and saw, that ain't y'all. He went to some fake Israelite group. He went to the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, who is really not even existing now. They're gone. Mm-hmm. But at that time, everybody thought that they were the group that was going to finally triumph over the Israelite School of UPK.
Right.
But they were wrong. So he went in there, but as he went in there, he could tell that they were very different than what I had taught him 10 years ago. Right. He could tell they were not in the spirit. Now, once again, I hadn't taught him anything in 10 years. I had been gone.
Right.
So now he called me on the phone one day. And he said, you know, I went over here, but that don't seem like what you taught me. Right. And I said, oh yeah, you should have never went in there. It's been 10 years. Right. Right. And in those 10 years, that group had broke off from the Israelite School of UPK. Right. In those 10 years. It had been so long. And then I told him about it, and I told him where we were now. I told him where One West was. Right. Where the UPK was, and he came on in.
All right. So as one of the members in the school that was around during the time of One West, you actually set foot in those buildings. What's one of the memories that you remember from One West?
Well, if I could, it's important to remember that you are a brother in the school in the time of One West. Okay. Right now. One West has not changed. If I could let you know something that most brothers won't know. Today, I went and tried to buy the building of One West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under General Yohana's orders.
That's heavy.
I try it twice or three times a year. 3 times a year. Right now, Applebee's owns the building.
Right, downstairs.
Downstairs.
Right.
And they own the upstairs. 2 or 3 times a year, I try to buy it. I try to rent it. If they won't let me buy it, I try to rent it. I tried today. I sent them an email today to rent it or buy it. Today, I'm waiting for their response. Right. It's something we try every 2 or 3 years. You get the point. That the One West has never changed. That's a building. Right. Right. But One West is a spirit that's in all of us now. Right. But that building is holy to us. Right. And we will get it back. One way or another, we're going to buy that building back. And you're going to walk in the door of that building and keep it as a holy place because it's central to our upbringing. It's a place that matters to us. Right. So, yes, I have physically been there, but so have you. You're learning from there. What you're learning from the generals and the captains over you now is in no way different than the brothers that learned back in 1990, 1985. Right. But just so you know, today, I tried to buy it today. Right. And the minute they sell that building, we buying that building. Right. It's in Harlem, 1 West 125th Street. I don't know what we're going to do with it. Right. Right. But we're going to take it. We're going to give it to Jazar Yak in some way to do something with it. Right. and we're gonna buy it. But I tried today, and I'm waiting for the email. I'm hoping that because of this coronavirus, this is why I called today, because I'm hoping because of the coronavirus, these white people need money. They suffering because it's a law firm that owns it now. A law firm, Applebee's owns downstairs. A law firm owns upstairs, which is where our school was.
Right.
We'll buy it from Applebee's or from the law firm or both.
Right.
But what I'm hoping is that one of them will be suffering and in need of money, and that they'll be willing to sell it to us or rent it or something.
Right.
General Yohana would preferably like to buy the building. In the UPK, we didn't own the building at that time. We rented it.
Right.
Because we, of course, were suffering back at that time. But now, General Yohana is not suffering, and he would buy it.
Right.
But I did it today. We'll wait for their response. And what's different from then and today? Nothing. The truth today is exactly the same way it was when I was a trooper.
See, this
is no different at all.
It's a man of persistence, ambition, and all of those things, determination. I don't want to hold you up because you one of, if not, you know what I'm saying, the most busiest man I know.
The second most.
The second most. Definitely the second most.
Ahead.
What was one thing you would tell the people today, if they don't know what the UPK is, or if they don't know what the truth is, and they don't know that it's a lifestyle out there that they can
achieve,
obtain
right?
To change their life?
Okay.
What would you tell those people?
What I would tell them is that most of them will not ever be able to attain the lifestyle that you and I have achieved. That you and I, an officer in the car, have achieved. Most people will never be able to live like this, and it's foolish for you to even try. Most people should not even try. It's harmful for you to attempt to live the life I live. You shouldn't do it.
Right.
You should be a civilian. And the Bible says that some are helps. That's in the Bible. Some people are just meant to help the men who are prophets, who are disciples, who are apostles, who are priests. And you should never try to do my job.
Right.
Because in attempting to do it, it would only discourage you.
Right.
Right? But there are other men that are meant to do the job better than I am able to do it.
Right.
And those men I welcome.
Right.
Those men, I would pray that they would come in and see what I do and do it better than I do it.
Right.
Right. And so now, to most people, this is, it's like saying, who should be an astronaut? Everybody?
Right.
No. You get my point? Everybody should not be an astronaut. You're going to try to be an astronaut and you're going to blow up a lot of damn spaceships.
That's right.
Because you're not fit to do it.
Right.
But there are some that are qualified. And so is the same with the Israelite School of UPK and its priesthood. Most people should stop trying to do what I do because you can't do it.
Right.
You should stop attempting. In your attempt, you shame this service. You shame this job. But there are others that will do this job better than I have ever tried to do it. And those brothers I welcome.
Right.
You understand?
Right. All right. With that being said, we got General Mahayaman, if not one of the second most busiest men in the whole wide world of Black America. We here again, man. Thank you again, Adawan. We appreciate you.
No sweat on.
Most high Christ.
You know what I'm saying? We got to represent for the culture. Niggas coming out here with all this funny color hair, skinny jeans and shit. Fuck that, nigga. We taking it back to the fringes. Motherfucking Spikes, nigga, representing for the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Angry Black Man Media, nigga. We getting it in. We bringing that real shit back.
I match my guns with the sneaks. That's my fashion week. Go ask the streets. Dog, we got massive beef. We pass elite. Play this on blast, repeat. Let it go worldwide, let the masses peep. I don't care if she thick or her ass petite. She want war with the D, she a casualty. Long as she don't got no limits like I'm Master P. Fucking bitch! Gold stick star!
No, do that shit over again.
We about war. Don't make my hitters come to your front door. We about war. Don't make my hitters come to your front door.
Live a life in the war zone, you see it then. War report,